Good afternoon. This is the Popper Scan for Buy Sell Short for Sunday, April 17th. We got a few charts to go through today. I decided to move back. Let me know what you think about this chart. The other chart, while it was nice, I wasn't able to put the chart symbol on it, so I figured we'd go back to this setup that you're all familiar with. First stock up is WZE. Doesn't have the greatest chart. Penny stocks have just been absolutely dead over the last several weeks, and as you can see, this one's just gotten hammered, especially in the last month. But it could be putting in a bottom here, and this is a stock that loves to bounce back to its 20-day exponential, and that's up at 23 cents. So, a break at 20 cents could give a 3-cent move or more on this one, depending on the news. Tough call whether I'd like to play it down at this stage. I'd actually prefer to see one of the penny stocks go big before I'd give any serious consideration to these. Another penny also on the pop scan this week is KAD, and the chart looks pretty decent here. The 50-day moving average at 15 cents has been very strong resistance since its sell-off back in February, and it's holding a nice little uptrend line. 12.5 cents to 13 cents has been the buy, and it's been giving 2 to 3 cents at a time. If that's what you're looking at and the volume comes in, you actually might be able to get a decent sized scalp off of that. Oil plays, all over the map lately, but DPTR, just a beautiful chart setup here. Support at 85 cents. Breakout, 95 cents is where I'd consider jumping into this one, just given the fact that oil prices, the oil stocks have been sort of, so-so over the last week or so. Well, this is a chart we really cannot ignore. We've got RSI breaking 50, positive MACD cross sometime this week. Stochastics look really good. So, if volume come in on this one over 7 to 8 million shares, it would definitely be worth putting on the radar. And if you didn't buy the 95 cent break, would possibly have a $1 trigger on it, and you could see a 10 to 15% move on it near term. Seeing as the weekend has passed, we can look at some of these bank plays that are back on the scan. CRBC breakout is 98 cents. That is where, if I entered 98 cents, I would keep my stops at 95 cents or wait for a break of $1, and then the logical target on that would be 110 to 115 on the break. And the reason I say banks, never own banks going into the weekend. Friday is the day that the Fed sees banks. So that's a reason why I never take banks home on the weekend. APP is on the pop scan. Actually had a really big up day on Friday. If it got some continuation and a break through $1, it could make for a nice flip trade up to $1.10. Interestingly enough, this is an apparel stock, and the other apparel stock, Joe's Jeans, is also on the pop scan today, and it too is trying to break its 50-day moving average at 110. So if I was watching these, I would watch both in tandem, and if APP continued its breakout move on Monday, then JOEZ would be a definite trade for a possible bounce back up to that 120 area. Another oil play on the pop scan is TGC, holding its 50-day pretty nicely. If oil plays, or if the price of oil was to go up decently early this week, then these two oil plays we have, DPTR and TGC, definitely ones to keep high on the radar. CXZ was a nice scalp play in the chat room, has consolidated over the last couple of days. Breakout would be a move through $1.20. There's a couple of ways to play this one. You can add $1.04, $1.05 with stops at 101 or $1, or you could wait for a break of 120 to add this position. Each goal would be a 10-cent scalp, and that's how I would approach this one. HAFC, another bank play on the scan this week. Breakout, this has been a frustrating play, but, it's been a pretty stable chart. Again, if the banks do bounce big this week, this is definitely one that will participate. DYAX, a stock we've been playing for the last couple of weeks, has a nice coilage on its chart here. It dips to the 20-day exponential at 163. I've been making for some nice intraday moves. Breakout 178, target 2 is how I would approach this one. AKAD is on the pop scan. We stopped out of this one this past week. Doesn't mean I would not rebuy it on a break of 188. This is still a rule of two play, and the fact that it shook almost all of us out is probably when it's actually going to break out. So we've got to continue to monitor this one because it breaks 188 this next time on decent volume, and we'll have our next rule of two stock, I believe. GLCH. Media play, ROIK has been on a nice little run recently. If ROIK continued its run on Monday, would definitely be considering this one for an ad on a break of the 50-day moving average at 190, and then the 200-day moving average up there at 212 would be the target. Now, reverse splits have actually been working out pretty well for companies that have done them lately. West, WESTD. In my opinion, the reverse split is exactly what it needed to get going. This is going to be a very interesting play. I was actually hoping we'd be able to buy this one in the 150s, but the buyers are coming into this one, and we may be forced to jump into this on a break of the $2. Real breakout on this one is the 200-day moving average at 230. So WESTD back on the watch list. URRE uranium stock. If there is some movement in it, this, of course, would be a buy on a break of 224. BPAX. Breakout 213. I would look for a move to 224 plus. Stops would be, if I jumped in on that 213 break, I'd keep my stops at the 8-day moving average at 205. This is one, it's been trying to go over the last couple of weeks. Eventually it will go. It's a matter of will we be in it when it does. MTSN, another possible double bottom play. Upside target to the 50-day moving average, 236 to 250. ZLCS, this one biotech has been on a tear recently, and breakout on this would be a move to 258 with 270 and $3 targets. Stops if I entered 258 would be 250 is how I would play this one. KNDI, electric car play, may get some follow-through thanks to that Zipcar IPO last week. Has been really beaten over the head over the last couple of weeks and looks like it's trying to put a bounce back into its 20-day exponential. Now, as you can see here from the green line, this is a stock that when it sells off, loves to bounce back to its 20-day exponential. And that's, a decent, 15% upside from here. Possible entry would be a break of the 8-day at 260. 275 to 295, and I would keep my stops pretty tight on this one. Maybe 255 on a break of 260, and then look to do 5-cent trailing stops as it bounced. But the turds have been running in the energy sector, and all I got to do is bring up some of the charts, like ESLR up massive last week. BWEN finally went on a move, so why not KNDI? It's on the pop scan, definitely one to consider. ASTM, nice coilage over the last 3 days. 262 breakout could give us a move up to 289. Now check out this chart. This is what we call a stair stepper. Pops, consolidates, pops, consolidates, pops, consolidates, pops. We've got our consolidation in here. 262 break. Could see a move up to the 3+ area because each pop has been giving a higher high on ASTM. If I jumped into this one on a 262 break, I would have my stops at the 20-day 254. ACPW, it's been up, 50 cents over the last couple of days. Could be a play on a break of 3 with a 320 target, and I trail my stops 5 cents below entry. Now the gamer stocks were very, very nice this past week. GLUU, we've got a possible downtrend line breakout at the 425 area. So if this one, how I would approach this, if glue starts moving tomorrow, you could jump into it, but I would actually prefer to jump into MCZ and Cool as sympathy plays, but 425 break on glue this week. Could see a move to 448 and a possible test of the $5 area with stops. I would probably trail my stops to 415 on that entry. Last but not least, we got Vonage. Remember when we were playing the stock at 40 cents? Geez, that seems like not too long ago. $5 break on Friday. Big chart move here. As you can see, it's been a long time since the stock was up here. Actually, after its IPO, it just went straight down. But a break of 5 could see, that usual move to 5.25. But, if this one really clears the $5 area, next possible target on it would be a move back to the 6.30 level. So that's it for the pop scan. And any questions on this popper list, feel free to shoot me an email or ask me in the chat room tomorrow.